Okay. Uh, we'll get started without our traditional intro music for the morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Mobile App Academy. This is our live building series where we show you how to build and configure mobile apps on the Now platform. My name is David Ha, and I'm an outbound product manager here at ServiceNow, and I'll be your host for today's session. We also have Charity Katz, who's on our Now Learning curricular team, and she's also here to help answer any questions that come up along the way. If you are joining us for the first time, we welcome you to the session. Our product experts are here to provide guidance, give you best practices, and answer any questions that come up. And we do host these academies once every month at 10 a.m. Pacific, in which the recordings will be posted onto YouTube on the ServiceNow Now community channel. And in case you aren't familiar, these are a few resources that we do have available on community. We recommend that you check out some of our self-enablement resources, such as our Essentials training blog and mobile FAQs. These have been updated recently, so we recommend checking those out and see if you find them helpful. But we do have content around things like mobile agent quick start guides, getting started with Now Mobile, and I believe we have over 50 academies at this point. Okay. Um, and then something I do want to highlight, which is our mobile research panel. We are currently looking for customers to work with to provide input on our latest designs and early concepts of new features. It's really an opportunity for you to share thoughts, opinions, and insights through our surveys, but you also have a chance to do one-to-one interviews with us. What's important here is that we are offering a huge opportunity for you to directly influence our mobile roadmap. If there's been a feature or use case that you've had a strong voice for in the past, now is the time to really bring it up. In which this survey or your live session will have the largest impact in helping us make some of those decisions around our mobile roadmap. And if it does make a difference at all, and if your organization allows for it, you can also be eligible for a monetary incentive for volunteering your time to share your feedback with us. Let me get that door closed just to minimize noise. But yeah, if you have any questions, we do welcome you to reach out directly to our mobile research team. So feel free to take a screenshot of that email there. And if you do want to sign up, there's the barcode. Just pull up your phones and scan that barcode. It will take you directly to our surveys. And then you'll have the option if you want to schedule a one-to-one with our research team. Okay. I'm going to leave this up for just a couple seconds, but I will come back to this slide at the end of the session as well, just to give you some more some time to think about it. I'm seeing some questions pull through in the chat. Oh, perfect. So Kaylin's added the link for you to directly access it. Does it require a mobile publishing license? Uh, I'm not familiar with the context to it, but yes, mobile publishing does require a license. I would strongly advise that you reach out to your account team if you would like to learn more about the details around that. Okay.
I think that kind of also goes with the next question, which was, can you throw some light on what is available to be customized without a license? And most of mobile can be customized without a license. Most of it comes as part of the platform, with the exception of mobile publishing.
Yes. And
And
then one little nuance is when it comes to out of the box experiences, so things like ITSM mobile agent, HR service delivery for Now Mobile, field service mobile agent. I would think of mobile as simply as an extension of your licenses from the platform experience. And so if you currently already use those products today, then you will also have access to those out of the box experiences for mobile. So if you're currently using field service on platform, you'll also have access to that on mobile. Mobile doesn't give you additional licenses for free. Right? It's just we will give you access to what you already have on the platform today. Hopefully that makes sense.
and specifically around branding, yes, that does require a license. That is the mobile publishing publishing license, where you can then submit um, your images and uh, whatnot to have it connected to or have it built out for you as a branded app, and then you can utilize that branded app.
Yep. And we do also have an academy on mobile publishing as well as FAQs. Those typically answer 95% of all customer questions that come in. So we recommend that you check out the video because we show you how to step-by-step instructions and all the questions that you should think about as you're getting prepared for mobile publishing. Okay. But with all that being said, let's get started with today's topic. I realized that I set the title up for this mobile app academy a little confusing because there was two use cases that I wanted to go to, and I think we only have time for one of those today. But for today's topic, we're going to be diving into mobile announcements. How do I use record sections to build or to display my text, company banners, or display use cases for things like announcements or campaigns? This is the same feature that is used from the HR Now Mobile team, as well as I believe possibly Safe Workplace. This is basically the components that they use to build out their campaigns feature. I'll be showing you how you can build yours from scratch. That way, you don't have to rely on using some of those out of the box experiences. Okay. And just to quickly review our schedule for today, we'll be starting it off with a quick overview on mobile banners, and then we'll quickly jump into the exercise and dive into any Q&A. So mobile banners. If you've been with us for a while and you've done some mobile configurations and you've configured mobile banners in the past, historically we have used media sections for this. You would just create a new type of UI section called media, and that would allow you to upload your images and videos, right? But that feature was quite a bit limiting because it was just a static image in which you had no control over the sizing and how it displays. Or you could only use up to one image or one video at a time on that section, right? And so we released an enhancement that happened in San Diego. It was kind of a quiet enhancement for record sections. And this allows you to have more control over this feature. It also enabled further use cases. As I mentioned earlier, the HR team and Now Mobile team both were prime examples to use this feature to build out their mobile campaigns and announcements. And so moving forward in San Diego and beyond, we would recommend using this method over media sections anytime that you're trying to display a mobile banner, an announcement of some sort, or anything that's related. Okay. If you take a look on the screenshot on the left, I want to point out that the new mobile banner is simply using a list screen that uses a fancy card template that makes it look like a mobile banner. And so this card template should be available to you out of the box. If you don't see it, then I would recommend just updating your mobile card builder plugin to the latest version. I think in most recent releases, maybe the past two or three, we've been releasing quietly new card templates for you to use out of the box. Okay. And I'll show you where you can find this template once we start our configuration as well. But to build out this experience, we start by creating a new list screen, and then we select the banner announcements card template. We will also need a table that can host your images and videos. And for this exercise, I will be using the mobile content table. This is available to me out of the box from the Now Mobile plugin. But just know that you can also build your own table to do this. You just need a table that has like a title, a description, and a field that allows you to upload images or videos, right? But we will be using the mobile content table to save time, and it works completely fine leveraging it out of the box as well. So this is something you can do yourself. So after we upload our assets, we can specify on our data item conditions which items from that mobile content table we want to pull over, and that is what is displayed for our mobile banner. Okay. And that's pretty much completes our configuration. So let's go ahead and jump in to get started. Let me share a new screen. And then I will share my entire desktop. On the left, you should be able to see my mobile device. And then for my instance, I skipped a couple steps. So let's go back to our homepage Okay. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I want to let's make this a little bit smaller. What I want to do is I want to create a mobile banner that shows up at the top of our screen here for the My Work tab. This is basically my home screen. Let's say that as a field service agent or as an admin, I just want to be able to add a company banner at the very top to make it more company themed, company branded. Okay. So to get started on building this experience, I'm going to open up Mobile App Builder. And then I will just have to jump into the correct scope in which all of these configurations can be found. I'm currently using the out-of-the-box field service mobile app, and this My Work tab lives in that field service scope. So we will jump into field service. Okay. And as I mentioned earlier, to build this experience, this is simply a list screen. And so we're going to create a new list screen here. We'll create a new screen and select list and continue. And then we'll name this, announcements or actually just company banner. And I'll add MAB or MAA so that I know that I built it for today's session. Always use unique naming. When you're looking for records, you'll see dozens or if not hundreds of records at a time. And so it's always important to use unique naming so you can find it easier later. For the icon, it won't matter because this is going to be displaying a card. So I can choose a random icon here. I'll just pick the first one that pulls up. And then I'll go and click save. So I now have my list screen as a template, but this is currently just an empty template. I'll need to continue filling this in. And if you've been to one of our app academies before, you'll know that every list screen requires a screen segment. If this concept is new to you, we recommend that you check out some of our earlier videos on Mobile App Academy. We have lots of videos on how to build list screens from scratch, so just check that out on our playlist. Let's call this company banner screen segment. And then save. And then we'll create a item stream, which contains our data item, right? So we'll also name this company banner list stream. And this requires a data item record. So we'll create a new data item. Company banner data item. Okay, so the table that I mentioned we're going to pull from is from the mobile content table. Okay. And before I fill out the conditions, I want to show you what this table looks like so that you know what's going on. So I'm going to go back to my instance and I'm going to look up this exact table name, which is called SNCD Content Mobile. So let's go and type that in, SNCD Content Mobile.list. And this will pull you up this table that just hosts all of our images and videos. If I were to create a new one, these are all the fields that are required for me to fill out, right? So on a banner, you have the option to fill out a title. You can give it a header text as well as a text. The title is just the title of this record. I don't think this actually is an input that will show anything on the banner. It's really this header text and text. Okay. And then you can also add your images. If you change this from banner to video, then it'll ask for a video link in which you'll have to create a new video link and paste your Vimeo or YouTube links. Okay. And then you also have the option for mobile text, which is a lot more simple. It just gives you a header text. And again, all of these options are all actionable, right? So there's a field for link. So if you wanted the user to navigate somewhere, then you have the ability to do that as well. But for our use case, we're simply going to create a company banner today. So I'm going to select content type mobile banner. let's give this a title. This title is what I'm going to use to fetch the items that I want from this table. And so let's say that in my conditions for title, well, first the content type. If I wanted to show both my banners and videos, then I would do like a is one of condition. Oh, I need to expand this a little bit more so you can see. I would do like a some sort of condition that says I would pick both mobile banner and video. But for just this exercise, I'm going to show just banner. Okay. And then I'll add an and clause and say for title, it must contain some sort of word that I'm going to add to my title to know to pull up these records. And so let's go and call this, let's go ahead and call this, every time that I insert MAA for Mobile App Academy. And then the title for this could be something like, actually, I'm not going to create a new one from scratch. I'm just going to use an out of the box one here. Because I already have one that's perfectly uploaded. I will use this ServiceNow diversity communities banner. Okay. So the title for us, this will be ServiceNow. I'll add MAA as the text that I want to pull from. I added some header text and then a short description right underneath it. And then I uploaded my banner right here. Okay. So let's go and save this. And then let's add the MAA to my condition. Contains MAA. Whoops. Oh. Whoops. I accidentally locked myself out. 1 second. Okay. MAA 2 days. Click save. Okay, so at this point, what I have is I have a list stream. I've filled out the data item. I've uploaded my assets, which is just this banner. The next step is I need to create the list item config, which is going to contain my card and card template, right? So let's go ahead and create a new list item config. Right now, this list screen knows what data to pull from, but it doesn't have a card and it doesn't know how you want to visualize it. So those are the last steps. So let's go and call this mobile banner. Sorry, company banner, list item config, MAA. The table is going to pull from the same table, mobile contents. And then it's going to ask for you to create a new card, in which we'll call this company banner, MAA. And then for the card template record, I won't actually have to create a new one because there's one out of the box for me to use. To find the template that you're looking for, when you select choose, you kind of get just this list. What I could do instead is I could pull up a new tab and open up Mobile Card Builder. And then I can use this interface to see exactly which template I want to use. So let's give this a second to load. Okay, so on my filters here, I'm gonna click directly into card templates. And you can see all the different templates that I have that are available to me. The one that I want to use is called, I believe it's called announcement. It's called banner announcements. Yes, banner announcement. If I open this up, I can see what it looks like. And it's just a simple 3-component thing. It's expecting some sort of image or video type of value, and then it adds a header text and then text. So this matches exactly what I have on my mobile content table, right? So it'll auto-populate some of these fields that I'm pulling into this table. Okay. So this template is called banner announcements. So we'll go back into mobile app builder and then select that exact same template. Banner announcement. And then we'll go and click save. Okay. And then just to make sure that it's populating the right values, I want to specify my table here as well. So let's select the mobile content table. And then let's go back into my card. The card. And then let's go and launch this to make sure that the values are actually being populated. I just want to double check one thing. For the value of this mapped field, let's actually have it populate the image field, right? So let's select image here and then save. And then for the header text, it's already mapping the header text field, and the text field is mapping the text field here. So this looks good to me. I think at this point, my banner should work. The very last step I need to do is just associate this list screen to somewhere on my mobile app. And as we mentioned earlier, we want to put this on the very top of our My Work screen launcher. And so let's go and do that. If we go back to the home of App Builder, let's go and open up the My Work launcher screen. And then we're going to want to create a completely new UI section because I can't put it as an icon item, right? If I were to put it inside my work, it would just show up as another icon. I can't put it here because it's its own individual record item. So we'll have to create a new one. So on my launcher screen, I'll scroll down into my launcher sections. You can see there's 3 sections on my list, which is why you see 3 sections on my tab. So let's create a new launcher section. And I mentioned there's an enhancement that we made that allows you for additional capabilities for the record UI section. So let's create a new one. I'll show you some of these new fields here. Let's go ahead and call this company banner record section. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to hide the header just because it looks cleaner without a title. I just want to see my banner, whatever that it's displaying. Let's say that this banner, I only want to display up to 3 items. The orientation will be horizontal. The scroll type is a new field. You can see that you can free scroll or you can snap to start. Free scroll means, you can kind of scroll like this as much as you want. If you select snap to start, it will only allow the user to scroll one at a time. And I think this makes sense for things like announcements or campaigns. If you want the user to be fixated on one content item at a time. And if it's thing like announcements, it makes it kind of hard to read if you're scrolling and it kind of goes a little too fast. So I'll select snap to start. So it only allows you to go one item at a time. Okay. And then I'll leave the rest of these empty. I'm not going to pick a card size yet because I want to show you what the experience looks like if I don't customize that. And then for the destination screen, I simply select the list screen that we just created, right? So let's go ahead and click choose. And we will select company banner, MAA. And then we'll just click save. And at this point, I should be able to refresh my home tab and it should display my banner. It's showing section is empty. Let's do one refresh. I might have to do a hard close. Oh, there it is. Okay. So this indicates to me that I built my list screen correctly because it's showing me my card templates. But what's interesting is I'm not seeing some of those field values that I filled out, right? On my table, like I'm expecting a header text and text. This indicates to me that I've configured my card correctly because it's showing up, but I'm wondering where's the rest of my text. And it might just be a matter of this card, the size of it is simply not big enough for it to host all of these values. And so there is this field on the record UI section. If you scroll down, there's a new field for card size. If you select choose, you can see all the out of box sizes. But really what I want to do is I want to create a new card size. And it allows you to configure both the height and the width of your card. If you hover over the information icon, you can see exactly what your parameters are. The range is from 42 to 296 pixels. And for the width, it goes from 64 to 304. I've already done some testing on this, and I found that the perfect range for this card, specifically to my own use case, with this image and the text that I filled out, I found that the perfect combination of of values is 260 for my height, and then 304 for my width. And again, this is something that you'll have to customize to your own use cases. It really just depends on how much text you plan on displaying on that banner and things like that. So, you can just change these values as needed to get it to the right size. So let's go and save, and I'll show you what this looks like. If I do a refresh on the home, it now displays perfectly. And you'll notice too that compared to media sections, this can be a lot bigger, right? It looks almost like a square compared to the more rectangular ones. And again, this is all controlled by your card size. So look what happens when I change my my height to maximum. Let's do 296. If I refresh it, this will just make it look a little bit longer and probably a little bit, yeah. So it gives you a little bit more white space. Media sections, if you had white space, you had nothing, you had no way of getting rid of it. But with this card sizing, this really allows you to adapt to whatever you have for what you want to show. So let's change it back to 260 because this looks a lot better. Okay. So that is just a very quick example of how you can configure mobile banners. And again, you can add things like videos or just text on this section as well. You can have multiple items on this if you want it to act more like an announcements thing. But lots of things that you can do with it. This is just a great introduction to getting started for this. Any questions before we wrap up? Can we share a link to the recording on this session after? Yes. We will upload this to the Now Learning, now the ServiceNow support channel, or let's go to YouTube. I always forget exactly what it's called. If you look up ServiceNow mobile community, yes, ServiceNow community YouTube channel. We'll be uploading it to this channel. Any other questions? I would like to set up a consent banner screen. Which template would I need to use? Can you give me some ideas? Consent banner screen. So I would use the exact same banner, right? If you don't want an image, and you just want like text, that is totally possible too. I believe what happens is if you don't fill out the image field, it will just ignore that image field and it will just display the text. And so I would just play with the card sizing to get it to where you want it to be. Or what you can do is you can also duplicate this card template and just modify the fields that you want. So if image is just not relevant to you, then just get rid of it completely. And then you can build your tables depending on what values you need, right? Any other questions? Why is the mobile content record active as false? That is a really good question. Surprisingly, this works even though the trigger is currently false. Let's go and save that. If I refresh that, it should still work. I guess it's just not for this specific use case. It's just not looking at the active field whatsoever. If I were to add that as a condition to the data item that I was filling out earlier, you can use this active trigger as an additional condition. But what I was doing, I was just pulling this table and looking at specific fields as my conditions. I just wanted to pull up all values that showed MAA in the title. So that's the reason why this is still showing up. Another question, which plugin is the mobile content table available in? If you look up ServiceNow Now Mobile, this is part of the employee experience plugin. If I look up on the docs, yes, the Now Mobile app. um, if you go to Now Mobile and then you click on base system functionality for Now Mobile, I believe this plugin should be available here somewhere. Mobile plugins. Mobile plugins for Now Mobile. This one right here. So I believe it comes with this specific plugin, com.glide.mobile employee. If you're not seeing it for whatever reason, then it's possible that this is actually an HR feature. And you would also need this plugin, com.sn HR mobile. Again, this feature isn't dependent on using this table to get the feature working. I simply wanted to use an out-of-the-box table to speed up this configuration. But as you can see, if you're able to create tables, the table itself isn't complicated. It's just a bunch of fields to get to fill in what I need, like content type, title, header text, and text. And so if you don't have access to HR table, then your workaround is building this table from scratch. Okay. Any other questions? If not, then we can go and wrap up. I want to show the research slide one last time. Going back to my PowerPoints. In case you didn't get a chance to scan our QR barcode for the mobile research survey, again, this is a huge, huge opportunity for you to directly influence our mobile roadmap. We are inviting customers to share their thoughts, their opinions, and insights with us through a brief survey, or if you have a very strong opinion for specific use cases, then we are also inviting you to jump into a one-on-one interview with us so that you can share that feedback and we can properly hear you out. Okay. And these mobile research panels do require a lot of time and investment from our research teams. And so they're usually only open for a limited time of the year. And so we highly recommend you take advantage of it as soon as possible if you want your voice and your feedback heard. And really, it's a great chance to directly influence our product strategy. If you're interested in signing up, just scan this barcode. You can save the link to complete it later. Or if you have 20 and 30 minutes to spare, then you can kind of dig right into it right now if you want. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out directly to our mobile research staff. You can take a screenshot for this email here. But with that being said, thank you all for joining us in today's session. And we hope to see you again next month at our next Mobile App Academy. Thanks, everyone.